So we have quite the fight in the Eastern Conference for the last wild card spot. Welcome back, motherfuckers. We're back for another episode of Puffed Up Podcast. I know y'all have missed me so very much. Had some personal family things going on. Hopefully everybody's on the mend, but if you want to send good juju our way, I will certainly take it. But I am joined again today by my dear friends, who I cannot imagine life without. We have Chris and the gorgeous Dee.
I feel so special now.
Yeah. You guys, like...
I had a really bad day, and that just made me feel so good. Thank you, for real.
I have to brag a minute because I have the bestest bestie in the whole wide world who sent me lovely packages, including this gorgeous Minnesota Wild mug. I have them almost all on the desk. The other over there. But the Minnesota Wild Zamboni.
Oh, that's bigger than I thought.
Oh, they're huge, but I love it. And then
I'm not good at
roughly
sizes.
the same size. We have Shark Kitten.
Oh my god, the Shark Kitten's
when I first saw it in the bag,
perfect.
Isn't it? I didn't know if it was like a stuffy or if it was like a shark outfit for my cats, which I was equally excited about.
Could you imagine? Hey, I just got you a shark outfit
I
for the cat.
almost texted you and were like, and then this lovely hot chocolate I have not tried yet, but I'm so very excited to. And the notes that came along with it made me cackle. So I have the bestest bestie in the whole wide world, and I just had to brag about that for a minute.
I was going to send you a Zamboni too, Chris, but they don't have Zambonis for our teams. So I was very upset about it.
I don't think anything exists for my team right now, but
I found this little guy downstairs. Grandma got it at some point.
Oh, that's awesome.
I stole it.
That's fun.
Coolest gift I ever got my best friend was I bought her a candle that said, "This candle is like our friendship. If you forget about me, I will burn your fucking house down."
Burn your fucking house down. I sent Dee a candle like that.
Yep.
I was like, she loves it. She goes, "Yeah, no, this is perfect. Yeah, I will burn your,
Oh, yeah, because I got you the gift set, so it didn't have "I will burn your fucking house down." That's right.
Yeah.
Because
it's all PG and shit.
Yeah, it just says, "I'll burn your house down."
Right? Fuck you.
Because we here at LTN Media are far from PG.
We wonder why we're not monetized yet.
We just haven't had the right crowd.
Right.
Jesus.
Shocking. It's shocking, actually.
We've done the last 2 shows without you, too, which is crazy.
I know.
Last 2 episodes.
I felt so bad, but I just...
understandable.
Yeah, between
Perfectly
Grandma
understandable.
And then my in utero nephew is having heart issues, and it's just...
It's been a lot.
Hopefully and thankfully they think he'll be fine. But, it's scary. So,
yeah.
Again, I'm taking all the good juju and sending it my sister and
100%.
way. So, Dee, do you have some PWHL updates for us?
I do. The biggest update, which I think we're all the most excited for the PWHL, is that they have released not only the name of their cup, but the design of their cup as well. So the PWHL will be playing for the Walter Cup. The Walter family is a leader in philanthropy and business, and they provided the foundational support that launched the PWHL. The cup itself was created in partnership with Tiffany & Co.
I will throw this up on the screen for you guys to see.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, please do throw it up. The naming of the Walter Cup was proposed by sports icon and PWHL advisory board member Billie Jean King. It features on the inside, which Chris, like I said, he's going to have it up here. On the inside, there are skate marks. On the outside, the cup itself is supported by 2 hockey sticks, complete with hockey tape wrapped around it. There are 6 W's along the rim of the cup to commemorate the 6 original teams. There are rays of light signifying the dawn of a new era in women's hockey. The bottom of the cup has a PWHL puck shattering the glass ceiling as well.
Nice.
It is exquisite. It is so beautiful. I cannot wait to see the first team hoist this trophy. I think it's going to be really awesome. Everyone is in love with it so far. All the players that have seen it talk about how beautiful it is. And it's not going to be like the Stanley Cup where every year they etch it in and eventually going to run out of space. It's a nameplate that I believe, are taking on and off, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Which
It'd
I think
be
is
nice
fine.
to see if it's some headquarters or eventually a
Yeah.
museum or Hall of Fame or whatever they end up doing, to see all the nameplates
Mhm.
up in order, I think would be really cool.
Yeah. It weighs approximately 35 pounds, stands 24
Jesus.
inches tall, and is over 13 inches wide. It features a removable base that will include the engraved name of each year's winning team. The trophy is made of sterling silver and crafted at Tiffany Hollowware Workshop in Cumberland, Rhode Island. The regular
Ooh.
season will conclude on Sunday, May 5th of this year, with the top 4 team in standings advancing to complete in the inaugural PWHL playoffs. The semifinals and the championship final will be a best of 5 series. So that's what you guys
Okay.
can look forward to a little bit later next month, which is very exciting.
Yeah,
So
it's quite
Yeah, I saw the picture
piece
of it.
quite the
Yeah,
trophy.
It's gorgeous.
it's
Yeah.
substantial.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Shout out to
I
being
It's like
made
love
in
some
New
of the
England,
wrestling
though.
belts that you see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was. I didn't know all the details of what is inside of it and stuff. I just saw the
Yeah.
like little picture of it, which
It's
was
super, I mean, it
cool
looks
enough.
pretty
But
just from that, but yeah, it's super
yeah,
cool that they made it an intentional design.
Yeah.
yeah,
And made it about hockey and about, women in general, since this is a
yeah.
women's
I
league.
like the shattering the glass ceiling. Like
I do too.
that's a really
Yeah.
really cool thing of
A nice little touch
yeah,
there at the
because
end.
they
Yeah.
fucking killed it this year.
Oh
They
god, yeah.
fucking killed it.
Yeah,
And I
they
mean,
have
to
I mean,
have
and
your
definitely
nobody
fucking
expected them to not, but
right, but to have
yeah.
your championship cup made by Tiffany, like, come on.
Come on, the
You
NHLers
can't
should
tell
be
me you're not
jealous.
killing it.
Let's be honest. Yeah.
Yeah,
How much does
love
the
it.
Stanley Cup weigh? Do you know, Chris? You have the brain for stats like that.
What? How much is what?
The
Stanley
NHL,
Cup
the
weigh.
Stanley.
I was just curious if you knew it. Off the
I
top of your
want to
head.
say it's 70 pounds.
It is. It has a height of 89.5 centimeters and weighs. That's
So
not in metric.
that's not how
No.
math
34.
works. 34 and a half
Um,
pounds.
Yep. So they're similar weights,
About the same.
Yeah, they're not
except
bad.
the Stanley Cup
Considering how much
is
bigger the Stanley Cup
larger.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, considering the Stanley Cup is aluminum.
Yeah.
That's
And this one
fair.
is
I
sterling
guess I
silver.
always thought it was like a
Yeah.
titanium or sterling
No, it is.
silver
It
or
is.
something.
I'm almost positive it's aluminum.
It
That's fair.
is. Yep. It's made of a silver and nickel alloy.
Yeah.
Whatever the
So
fuck that
Okay.
means.
That's fair.
kind of aluminum.
Well, and
Yeah.
think about when that was created. That was probably
Yeah.
the best material combination
yeah,
for the price they could get.
Over 100 and
Yeah.
something years ago, like that's, and the fact that we're still using that exact same thing to this day.
Yeah, which is yeah.
So they
And
did
then
not
3 stars or
release.
no?
They didn't release the 3 stars. They actually instead release a Supra Stars of the Month because they are being sponsored by Air Supra, which is an albuterol inhaler. Which such a random sponsorship, but
Hey,
get
listen,
your bag,
asthmatics, raise your
PWHL.
fucking hands up. We here.
I mean, right,
Puff,
100%.
puff, give, bitch.
I literally was just looking
But
at
it's
like
so
who
random.
creates my inhaler.
Yeah,
I
mine
don't
is
know.
not
Mine's
Air
albuterol,
Supra.
but it doesn't say Air
Yeah.
Supra anywhere.
Mine's not Air Super either.
I know mine's not. Anyway, so the 5 Supra Stars of the month are
love it.
Brianne Jenner, forward of Ottawa. She had 3 goals and 6 assists for 9 points and 6
9
games played in March.
Not a point.
Second most among the
9
PWHL
points.
players for the month. The 32-year-old had 4 multi-point games in the month, including a 3-point effort, which helped her team snap Toronto's 11-game win streak by way of a 5-3 win. Ottawa's league-leading power play continued to click in the month, with Jenner adding a goal and 3 assists on the advantage. By averaging 1.5 points per game, Jenner would move into a tie for 6th in PWHL scoring and now has 15 points on the season. Katarina Mazrova, and Katarina, fucking DM me how to say her name. I'm so sorry. I feel like I fuck it up every week. Forward, also out of Ottawa, has led PWHL skaters in scoring in March with 10 points in 6 games played, with 2 goals and 8 assists in March. The 31-year-old moved into a tie for 3rd in league scoring by the month's end and now has 17 points in 19 games played this season. Katarina collected points in 5 of 6 contests in the month, which included 4 multi-point games, highlighted by a 3-point assist against Montreal, a career high for the forward. She now sits tied for first in the PWHL with 11 assists on the season and further demonstrated her playmaking ability in March by amassing 5 primary helpers, because they definitely give tallies for secondary helpers as well. We also have Natalie Spooner, forward out of Toronto. She finished tied for second in the league scoring in March with 9 points in 6 games played. She tallied 5 goals in the month, which brought her league leading total to 15 on the season, 6 more than the next best in the PWHL. Spooner had 6 points in all 6 games she played in March, including 3 multi-point games, now sits in the midst of a 6-game point streak, tied for the longest point streak in the PWHL this season. The 33-year-old tallied 2 game-winning goals in March as her team continued its winning streak to 11 games before falling to Ottawa, a game in which Spooner scored twice. In the month, Spooner had her first shorthanded goal of the season, added 24 shots on net, and finished +3. Next, we have Natalie Buchbinder, a defenseman out of Minnesota. She had 4 points in March with a goal and 3 assists in 5 games played. Her point total was tied for first among defenders in the PWHL for the month. The 25-year-old also finished the month with a plus-minus rating of +7, including a season high of +3 against New York. The Minnesota defender, who started the month with 2 points in 14 games, finished March on a 4-game point streak and now has 6 points on the season. She sits just 1 point shy of 10th in scoring among defenders in the PWHL with 6 points in 19 games played. Sophie Jacks, probably Jacks, defensiveman out of Minnesota as well, had her 4 assists in March, the most among all defenders in the PWHL for the month. The defender began March with 1 assist through her first 12 games played, but now sits with 5 on the season due to a stellar month, one that she finished with a 3-game assist streak. The first-year pro also added 21 shots on goal, including 9 on March 5th against Ottawa, a season high for the defender. Jacques collected points in 4 of 5 games played in the month and now has 7 points on the season, good for 10th among all PWHL defenders. Lastly, we have Kristen Campbell, a goalie for Toronto. She led all goaltenders with 4 wins in March, all in regulation, adding to her league lead in the category. She now sits with 12 victories on the season, 5 more than any other goaltender in the PWHL. Campbell also recorded her 3rd shutout of the season, another category the goaltender leads against Montreal on March 8th. The native of Brandon, Manitoba, continues to be a workhorse for her team as she started 5 or 6 games for Toronto in March with 300 minutes played. In March, Campbell had 1.60 goals average and a .929 save percentage as she backstopped her team to 12 out of 15 possible points in her starts. So some pretty impressive stats there from our superstars out of the PWHL. Just as a reminder, you guys, you can watch all PWHL games on YouTube for free. They're incredible broadcasts. The league has been getting a lot of attention. I know that in DC, Ted Leonsis, the owner of the Washington Capitals, has already started talking about how he wants to add a women's team here in Washington. The first possible opportunity for expansion, he plans to jump all over, and we're seeing other people throughout the league, other team owners say the same, that they're so inspired by the growth of women's hockey that they want to get in at the ground level. So huge shout out to the PWHL for really showing the world that women's sports is here to stay and is the future, and they should be playing just like the boys. They should be playing an 82-game season and not a shortened season with less airtime. So
right,
yeah,
super excited for them.
Yeah, well, and I know I think next season they'll have more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? More games. I blanked on the word for a second.
right.
Yeah. Because their season only started at like nowhere. December or January, I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it was when we announced
that.
Yeah,
January to May.
Yeah.
So.
But I also think that that's a benefit for them, because hear me out.
Oh, yeah.
Your first season, you have a very finite amount of teams and a very finite amount of games. And all the stuff that all the records that they've already set and all the attention that they've gotten, do you know what that's going to do? That's going to leave people wanting more.
Oh,
so it's going to mean, that's all I get? Let me get super hyped for next season. Yeah. That's how you garner that attraction. That's how you garner that hype. So I think, you know what? Honestly, I think the first 2 seasons, keep it how you're doing it. Because if you're gaining traction, it's just going to make people want to see it more. then you start adding, you know.
I think they're gonna be forced here into a situation soon where they can't exactly do that, because when you look at the numbers, anytime that they've played a large stadium, I mean, we're talking like
they're
Excel
selling them
Energy
out.
Center, they're selling them out.
They're selling them
So the
out.
demand is there,
Well,
and if you
yeah,
don't
and what,
capitalize
New
on the
York
demand
was the
soon
other one?
enough, then I think so. If you don't capitalize on the demand soon enough, then you risk people being like, "Well, fuck.
Yeah.
I can't get in, so what's the point?"
Yeah.
So they have to find a balance there, a really cautious balance.
Yeah.
I think it's in their best interest not to expand teams next year, but
I
to
agree.
expand number of games.
Yes.
Is what I would do.
I
No more
agree.
teams, but more opportunities to see these teams, to see the inaugural group, the original 6, whatever they're gonna call them, to see them be excellent leaders in women's sports.
And hopefully
So
with
I don't
team
think they'll change it
names.
this year.
That's the important thing is I want to see team names next year.
and fucking fire merch is what they need.
Because
They
I don't
actually
want to
said that
cheer
they're
for
gonna
the
have team names.
PWHL New York team. I want to cheer for the New York whatever. I'm not going to cheer for the Boston team. I'm sorry, guys. I may be a New Englander, but I'm not loyal to New England sports teams.
Yeah.
But like that's important. Your teams need identity.
Correct. I mean, excuse me, we
'Cause I
so
wanna
rarely like I'll occasionally refer to my team as Washington, but I call them the Caps 98% of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We call
Yeah, I'm a
Chicago the
Ducks.
Hawks, the
Yeah,
Wings,
I'm a
the
Ducks
Ducks.
fan. I just mentioned the Ducks.
The Wild. Yeah. We call them by their name and not their location nearly as much.
Yeah, it's definitely a one of those
Except
things.
for nobody does that with the Wild, because Minnesota is much harder to say.
It's it's longer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mouthful for sure.
Well, next we have the showdown for the wild card spots. Currently in the East, we have Tampa Bay in the first spot with 95 points. In the second spot, we have the Washington Capitals with, is it still 85, or did that change tonight?
It should be 85 now. It was 83 earlier today.
So that is up
now it's 85.
I wasn't sure if it was. I just like re-uploaded the page just to double check. So they're the first two, and then we have the Penguins, the Red Wings, the Flyers, the Devils, and the Sabres. Ottawa, Montreal, and Columbus have all been eliminated from the race. And then in the Western Conference, we have Nashville in first place, Las Vegas Golden Knights in second place, and then St. Louis Blues. Oh, I'm sorry, I was saying points before. Nashville Predators in first with 95 points. Vegas has 92. I realized I didn't say that before for the other one. It's fine. St. Louis Blues have 87, and then the Minnesota Wild are still in it. There's this much hope. I mean, I have a lot of hope. But
I do want to add that as of time of recording, it just happened right now that the Nashville Predators officially clinched their first wild card spot. The last wild card spot is the only thing up for grabs in the Western Conference now.
Yeah. And I mean, Vegas has 92 points. I don't foresee either team coming through. I mean, like we were talking about before the show started, the Wild have to win every game for the rest of the season, and Vegas and St. Louis need to lose a lot of their games. It is unlikely that will all happen.
Yeah.
Again, a girl can dream. I'm repping the
in the Pacific
jersey tonight for that reason.
The Pacific Division's still technically not even finished either, because that last wild card spot is between Vegas and LA. LA is only 1 point ahead of them right now, and currently, as a time of recording, they're tied with Anaheim right now. So, that game's not fully either set.
Dallas, Winnipeg. Kind of surprisingly, I mean, they've had
Winnipeg's really good this year, really good, and they only got better at the deadline.
I know they kicked our butt. Well, I don't think they kicked our butt. I think we lost in overtime to them last time we played them. But normally we've got Winnipeg's number for whatever reason. But Dallas has 109 points, and then Winnipeg and Colorado both are at 102. But they have all also clinched their spot.
Technically the Metro hasn't had their third position clinched either, so they're still not only are we battling for the final wild card spot in the East, but the Metro's third pick is still kind of open. I mean, now
the Islanders are only 2 points up.
Caps and kind of crazy.
Well,
kind of crazy.
Yeah. And then so eliminated from the Western Conference are the Kraken, the Flames. Haha, suck it. I have a lot of family in Calgary. That's who you're for.
Right.
Love you. The Coyotes, the Ducks, the Blackhawks, also suck it, and San Jose.
I thought you were gonna say suck it for the Ducks, and I was be like, wow.
No, no.
Cool.
I'm
okay,
seriously
it's
thinking
like that
about
now.
repping the Ducks fans shoes.
Yeah.
I'm not lying.
Trust me, if I can find them on a third party site, I will buy the shit out of those shoes.
If I still had a job, I did get the Minnesota Wild because I just got new glasses. I got the pair glasses,
nice.
And I have Minnesota Wild toppers or a topper for them. It's really hard to see, like green and like scratched up like the ice is, and then it's got the Wild logo like really small.
Cool.
So they're kind of hard to tell, but you gotta rep your team every chance you get, you know. Right. But so that's what the conference. Oh, I clicked on a link and something went wrong! Exclamation point. I
think
there's 1 point between Pittsburgh and the Caps, and it's I mean, we are in a race.
The Penguins
and Flyers are only 2 behind, even though they have 1 more game played. So
right,
we're going all up to 82, baby, before we know who's in this goddamn final fucking spot.
And I think that this shows exactly how tough the Eastern Conference is this year. When you have 6 teams still mathematically eligible to gain that last wild card spot in the East, I mean, considering that New Jersey and Buffalo both did lose tonight, that might change some things.
Yeah.
But you still, even at that point, you have what's essentially a 5-card race or a 5-team race between the wild card and the third in the Metro. That's pretty insane, considering all of these teams available are all Metropolitan Division teams. So
right.
I mean,
and
except
actually,
for Buffalo and New Jersey, but
because New Jersey and Buffalo are at 79 games played, I think mathematically this does eliminate them.
I think they're officially.
I believe so, because even if they win their next 3 games outright, they're only at 85 points, and that would mean that the Caps would have to lose every game outright as well.
Yeah.
They would need everyone to lose to make it. So I think it's now just down to 5 teams.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Which is, again,
and that's actually for the Metro, like it still has New Jersey in there as being eligible, but Columbus is eliminated. So that is, oh no, that's 6 teams. I can count. Sorry.
That's fair.
I swear to God, the first time I counted, it was only 5. And I'm not even drunk yet. As I just poured vodka into my soda. Anyway, but yeah, so it's going to be a hell of a wild card showdown. So, and I kind of want to expand question of the week a little bit, because again, like life has happened and I haven't been super able to keep an eye on everything. So the question of the week was, which team do you see grabbing the final wild card spot in the East? But I'm curious as to in each division or conference. I lost the other word for a second.
Well, so the Atlantic Division is tied up. They have all 4 of theirs. The Metro is the only one
we're Central are all both locked up completely.
Right. Yeah. So with 3 to 4 games left, and who those people are playing, I think mathematically we've cut out Buffalo and New Jersey, which is good for me. Appreciate it.
Right.
Whereas Detroit, Pittsburgh, Washington, and the Islanders all have 4 games left to play.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are interdivisional games as well.
Yeah.
Which makes it tiff.
Right.
Like, I think that we next play. Oh my God, NHL takes so long to load. We play Philly, the Sabres, the Lightning, and the Bruins. So we play the Sabres, and with their points, if we beat them, they're definitely out. And then we play Philly as well, who is also lower in the standings as well.
And Philly has to play the Red Wings. Oh, I'm sorry, not the Red Wings. The Rangers, the Devils, and the Caps. So they just got blown out 9-3, and now you have to go play the best team in the NHL.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I think realistically, it's going to be between Pittsburgh, Washington, and possibly Detroit.
And again, I think I said that at the beginning of the season. That was one of my predictions.
Well, and yeah, I was gonna say not even to mention the Islanders, because that third spot in the Metro is not even like it's still available.
Yeah.
So, and Pittsburgh also realistically can get that third spot too. So it's a definitely an interesting situation.
Right. It's going to be an intense couple weeks. I too would love to see the Caps take one of those two spots, either the third in the Metro or the final wild card.
Shocker.
Yeah.
However, if I'm placing bets, I think Islanders will maintain their third in the Metro.
Yeah.
And I think that, as much as I hate to say it, I think that Pittsburgh is going to pull some fucking magic bullshit out of their asshole.
Yeah.
If they do, they're fucking cheaters.
No, but like I actually was gonna say the same thing with D. It's like it would be cool to see the Caps get in, especially because we don't know how much longer you've got with Ovechkin. But we also know how much longer we have with Sidney Crosby. And right now, Sidney Crosby has been on a tear. The Penguins right now, out of all the teams in the wild card hunt, have had the best last 10 games. Granted, yes, they did lose their last game, but they lost in overtime. That's still a point towards that wild card spot. And I think Pittsburgh kicked it on at the right time, and they're getting hot. And I just...
And Pittsburgh only has 4 people out with injuries right now, and none of them are season ending.
Right. And again, the captain is putting that team on his fucking back right now, and Crosby is single-handedly bringing that team to where they are, at least in the last month and a half. So I again, it's one of the situations where it's like 2 all-time greats, and we don't know how much longer we got with them.
Yeah.
But who's gonna get that last chance at a cup?
Though, Washington's pretty healthy too. I mean, they have 2 people out right now.
One of them's going to be out for the remainder of the season for sure.
Yeah. Well, and it's going to come down to consistency, I think, between all these teams. And I feel like Washington just hasn't been consistent enough for me to put my faith in them.
I agree.
But I think Ovi is going to get his fucking a bug in his britches and make an old man push. Probably end up injuring himself.
Which... I mean, to be fair, Ovechkin has made a huge push since the All-Star break. He has come back.
Broke that bad juju or whatever was on him. We're down by 3 now. If you didn't want to know what my outburst was about.
But think about out of the last 4 games of their season, think about 2 of those last 4 are top teams. You have to face off against Vasilevsky and either Ullmark or Swayman. So as much of a tear as Ovi's been on, you have to think the last 4 games are a test, because 2 of them are facing off against top 10. I'll even say it, top 5 goalies.
Montreal beat Philly 9-3.
9-3. And that's Montreal, who sucks.
Which I want to know what fucking hissy fit Torts threw tonight.
Oh my god!
Because you know that he had to have. I mean, the last. I
want to watch that press conference now. I hadn't expanded the scores that far yet and hadn't seen that. Love to see things that'll put Torts on a tirade. Did you guys talk about the Torts?
We did. Yeah.
I think I saw that on the show sheet last week.
Yeah.
He might be getting himself in some trouble.
I fully predict that if the Flyers, and Chris, back me up on this, if the Flyers don't make it to the playoffs, this year,
I
Torts
think
is gone.
he's out.
Oh, there's no question. After all, if you bring that sort of if you bring that sort of publicity to your team in a negative light and you don't end up being successful, guess where you get to be?
The only good
unemployed.
thing to come out of that, though, is the gritty commercial for the earmuffs.
Yeah.
And the Torts press conference.
That was
with
hilarious.
The security guy that
God, that was good.
Yeah.
Like, best publicity, like one of the better.
It's funny, but it's only funny when you're a winning team, unfortunately.
Right.
When you're a losing team, it's like,
okay,
maybe we need a coach that
which is funny regardless.
People respond to better.
But, yeah. Dude, that's just... like, again, talking about wrestling, because WrestleMania was this weekend, but The Rock, like, going off on shit. Like, and fans, I mean, he dropped quite a few F-bombs.
He dropped F-bombs last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, like on Raw and stuff.
Just wait.
By the way, I saw a thing today that people think that Cody gave him a Rolex too, and he smashed it and gave it back. That's what he gave Cody.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I thought it was maybe something of his dad's, but anyway, but yeah, people are like not happy with The Rock, who is like a well-loved person normally and played this heel character very well, but he went kind of off the rails.
He went hard, and well, that's what I think made it
at
so
night
special.
1 of Mania, night 2 of Mania, at the Raw after Mania. So that's kind of how, like, another thing that I relate Torts to doing, because people like love a colorful person,
right?
And Torts love a colorful person
coach, when you're right, but when it's almost more intermittent than it has been with both of them, let's say.
Yeah,
it's been
because
a lot.
Otherwise it just comes off that like, boy, you have a major fucking anger problem, and you might need to go get some help about it.
Well,
you know?
And I think that's the downfall with the Flyers this season in the first place. I mean, like, we've mentioned the past, like, couple shows with Tortorella benching his captain, Sean Couturier, who is, obviously an amazing leader in the locker room. He's having a rough year.
Which is crazy.
So is everyone on that fucking team is having a rough year. That team, on paper, is way better than their record, way better than their stat line, and we all know that. But I think that the distraction of Tortorella is and all of the antics and all the shit he's talking about his own team, I think we're starting to see it add up, and it's affecting them. And I think that that's what's going to ultimately kill them within the next couple games.
Can somebody just
I just don't see Pittsburgh missing the playoffs this year. Crosby has 86 points at 37 years old. That's impressive.
Right.
Yeah.
He's playing like Crosby
I'm
from
the same age
old,
as he is.
prime Crosby. And Ovechkin's playing like prime Ovi too. In a lot of ways.
Which we're going to talk about that in a second,
So, again, we've been talking about these two together their whole career. Is it more fitting than the Capitals and the Penguins facing off in that last wildcard spot? Like,
I mean,
more fitting.
The only thing that would be more insane is if somehow the Islanders lose every game of they face plant, and now the two people who clinched the last Metro spots are the wild card, and the last Metro spot are the Caps and the Pens.
Caps and the Penguins.
That would be the only thing more storybook.
It would just make sense. And then those two just working their way through to somehow meet somewhere.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
But
insane. I do agree with Dee. I think Pittsburgh is I think it's the obvious choice, you know?
Yeah.
And momentum is everything in hockey, and we're pushing close to the postseason, and what team is more, well, I guess you can never really count them out in the playoffs than the fucking Penguins.
Right, but this is a different playoff picture than I feel like we've seen in a long time. So they might have some serious competition with people being on a...
Again, if they win that last wildcard spot, you have to play the New York Rangers, who we mentioned earlier is the best team and the hottest team in the NHL. So you're immediately, anyone who wins that last wildcard spot, you're immediately in a very tricky situation.
Yeah. You're having to fight for your life, but I mean, we saw it happen with the Bruins last year.
Literally last year, we saw the Florida Panthers as a wild card team shock everyone and make the Cup finals. So like it's possible, and that's what makes that's what makes the NHL playoffs so amazing.
If Winnipeg makes the finals.
I wouldn't be. They have a lot of talent, and adding Tyler Toffoli to an already stacked roster, like
right. But they haven't made the finals in how many fucking years?
They haven't made the finals ever.
Ever?
Yeah, no, they've never made the finals. You think about this franchise used to be the Atlanta Thrashers. Yeah, Winnipeg's never made the finals. The farthest they ever got was the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Well, right, but like, so they've made playoffs.
Oh yeah, well they've made the playoffs, but I mean
that's more what I was talking about. I said finals, but I meant playoffs.
Yeah, like you've got 6 guys on this roster with over 50 points, like Nikolai Ehlers, Sean Monahan, Kyle Connor, Josh Morrissey, Mark Scheifele, Tyler Toffoli, all have above 50 points. Like that's when your top 6 is producing like that, and even one of those top 6 being, dude, Josh Morrissey has 55 assists this season. Like,
right.
That is the type of offensive output that you need, and they have Connor Hellebuck in net. I don't need to say more than that. Everyone knows Connor Hellebuck's talent. So, like, they wouldn't surprise me one bit if they made a deep playoff run.
Yeah.
Edmonton would surprise me. I don't think Edmonton's built to go that far. But
yeah,
Winnipeg. I'm not sleeping on the Dallas Stars because they are absurd.
Oh no, Dallas is hot, and
they are absurd this year.
They're gonna fucking rub it in our face just like they did before. What does Minnesota have to do with hockey?
You guys are a rival.
Shut your face. You wouldn't have a team if it wasn't for fucking Minnesota. What's his face having criminal charges? But anyway, Chris, tell us about this kid in the CHL.
You know, I think I can absolutely do that. Let me close like all.
And I mean, kid.
Literal child.
Child.
Like younger than my son.
He is my niece's age.
My son.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, Lily is the same age as Matt, so they're a year older.
Yeah, they're I think a little. Yeah, like he said,
like months probably older. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Landon DuPont, who is a Canadian prospect, has been granted exceptional player status by Hockey Canada, meaning at 14 years old, or by the time next season starts, at 15, he will be eligible to play in the Western Hockey League, which is the Canadian hockey, which is a division of the Canadian Hockey League. It's only ever happened 9 times. For those that aren't familiar, the exceptional player status is set up for situations where there's an age limit for the CHL and Hockey Canada to be included. And it's one of those case-by-case basis where if someone's evaluated, given this platform, they can start young. Some notable players that have received this honor: Connor Bedard, John Tavares, Aaron Ekblad, Connor McDavid, and another most recent would be Shane Wright. So this allows DuPont to be eligible for the 2027 draft.
Crazy.
That is 3 years from now.
Yeah.
Meaning he will be eligible to be in the draft at 18, which is a lot of players in the CHL
15,
don't.
No. Like, does he turn 15 this year? Because he said 3 years, that would be 17.
Or so 17. He'll be 17 then.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he'll be eligible to play.
But he could be drafted, but he won't play.
Well, it depends on when his birthday is, because he's 17 now, but he could turn 18 before the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, I mean, he's 14 now. He could turn 15 before the draft.
So the WHL, which is one of the CHL leagues, you can be drafted to the WHL and I believe CHL in general at 15, but can play a maximum of only 5 games in the league at that age until their club team season has ended. The exception will be gaining the exceptional player status allows DuPont to completely forego that, and he will be allowed to play the entire season next year.
Okay.
This kid, I've seen highlights. At 14, I was never even remotely this good. Like, this kid...
I haven't seen anything of this kid, but, I mean, fuck.
So, he's 5'11", 170 pounds. He set a Canadian Sports School Hockey
At
League...
14?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. He set a Canadian Sports...
My kid's 5'9", I suppose.
Yeah, that's nuts. He set a prep school single-season record for a defenseman with 62 points in 30 games, 19 goals, 43 assists. He had 16 points in 5 playoff games, tying the U18 championship scoring record held by Arizona Coyotes forward Dylan Guenther in 2018-2019.
That's actually hilarious.
And Dylan Guenther is a great talent. But holy shit.
But he plays for fucking Arizona, which is hilarious.
Right.
But shout out to Landon DuPont. I'm super excited to see what he can do. Also, I do want to mention because
that they don't give him the pressure that like they've given Bedard.
That's all once he gets to the NHL. That's going to depend on what he does in the CHL.
Which is fair, but like, I mean,
I hope everyone stops giving them pressure. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's.
Like, I don't think anybody
I wish, but it probably won't happen.
I'm sure, but as a mom of a kid a year older than that,
you can only hope.
I certainly wish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they don't put that much pressure, because nobody that young needs that much fucking pressure on them.
Right. Yeah. I do want to talk about the Division 1 ice hockey tournament that is going on. Unfortunately, last year's defending champions, Quinnipiac, was eliminated in the second round by Boston College in overtime. Makes me sad. Won't get to see another Connecticut school win a championship this year. Minnesota got knocked out. The University of Minnesota got knocked out in the second round as well by Boston University.
Bullshit. And of course it's Boston. That thing, that rivalry goes back to fucking the Olympic team. Like, I have the Miracle on Ice beach behind me now.
Yeah. It's crazy that both Boston, like, D1 Boston schools are in the Frozen Four. So the Frozen Four is set. That will take place Friday and Sunday in Minnesota. It'll be in the Frozen Four is in St. Paul this year. I know the Gophers won't get a chance.
I feel like have made it a lot.
They won the championship 2 years ago. They're one of the most dominant teams in the country.
Yeah, one of the most, which is why so many hockey, like NHL players, come from Minnesota. A lot of them are former Gopher players.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy, and like I said, of course it was.
Well, what's also crazy is to see that Michigan beat Michigan State. Speaking of other like storied college hockey programs, so you're set up for the Frozen Four. Boston College will face Michigan on Saturday. That game will be at 8:30 on ESPN2. 5:00, we will see Boston University play the University of Denver. That'll also be on ESPN2. And the winner of those will play Sunday at 6 p.m. That'll also be on ESPN2. I think Boston College is going to take it this year. They are real
what,
good.
though? If we had to lose to the team that takes it, that's all right with me.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah, Boston University has a real good shot against... I'm not going to lie, I kind of want to see Boston College versus Boston University for the championship.
Could you imagine the accents
that would be insane
building for that shit?
Just imagine what... I'm from New England. Like, imagine what that's going to be like here.
Matt wanted to go to that game. I don't know that I can handle it if we were to go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I enough for you?
No, you don't have as bad of an accent.
Motherfuckers! God damn it! We're gonna go watch some hockey. Why is there no Sam Adams at the concession stands?
Actually, I do agree with that shit.
Yeah, there should be some Sam.
Our concession stands fucking suck. For the most part. Also, beer is super fucking expensive at the X.
Well, they
I do want to pull for Boston College because Anaheim Ducks prospect Cutter Gauthier is a part of the Boston College team. So that'll be super cool to see him come in, I think, next year when he'll enter in everything as a national champion. So
fair.
Who do we think takes it? Who do we got?
Yeah, Boston College.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think we're all in agreement.
Yeah. They're the best team in the nation, so I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. But you guys can watch
at this point.
Yeah. You guys can watch all of that this weekend on ESPN2. That should be exciting.
I forgot that was happening in Minnesota, and that explains our long fucking road away games.
Yeah, right, they have the schedule around the last.
I was pissed. Okay, mostly because, yes, I'm being selfish. Like, my grandma doesn't feel well. She's having heart issues. She gave me the rest of her tickets for the season. I have one left. Because of the fucking Frozen Four. Just fine. I get it now. I just forgot about it.
That's all right.
Enough about me. I talk about myself too much. I'm sorry. I haven't been here for 2 weeks. Y'all gotta fucking deal with it. Sorry. Not sorry. Team updates. Chris, I know you said you didn't have anything. You gotta have a little something. I mean, Cutter's technically an update for your team.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Listen, the only thing that I have had to even remotely think about over the past 24 hours is the fact that the Yukon Huskies won the national championship. That's the only thing that's been on my brain.
That's not the team. That's not the team I'm talking about.
Do you know why? Because Anaheim's so fucking bad. We're like the bronze medalists of sucking. We're not even the worst team in the league. We're the third worst team. What's worse than that?
What are the two worst teams in the league right now?
Chicago and San Jose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Checks out.
Yeah, I have nothing exciting other than Radko Gudas came back from injury, so it's awesome to see Butcher on the ice. I love Radko Gudas.
Yeah,
that dude's a savage.
Yeah, he's crazy.
D, what are the Caps updates?
We have a couple. For one, as of tonight, Ovechkin has hit goal 852. He also set a new record for the most number of seasons with 30 goals or more. That is 18 seasons. The only reason why it's not 19 is because of stupid fucking 2020, 2021 where they had a shortened season.
Yeah.
And he was like 5 goals away. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure like Connor McDavid had 100 points that season, so I feel like you know.
I don't think he had 100 points that season, but anyway,
I'm pretty sure it wasn't quite 100.
Yeah. So that is major update number 1. Major update number 2 is that we now have our 4th player for the Washington Capitals to have reached 1,000 games, our 2nd this season, which is kind of crazy. And that is John Carlson. He, again, had a very touching video package with messages from people like Tom Wilson, Carl Alsner, Brandon Holtby, as well as like his own family and stuff. It was very, very sweet. They had a whole big celebration for him as well. He also received gifts from the Capitals player and management. General manager Brian McClellan presented him with a commemorative Tiffany crystal from the NHL, a silver stick from the Capitals organization, as well as silver mini sticks for his kids too. Ted Leonsis gave Carlson a portrait of key moments.
Why didn't the Wild think of that? Sorry.
Yeah, you missed the episode last week where they did that for Oshie's kid as well. Oshie's kids all got mini sticks.
That's a cute idea, but I wish we would have thought of that for Fleury.
Yeah.
And
as I was
sorry.
Yeah, as I was saying, Ted Leonsis gave Carlson a portrait of key moments from his career painted on a canvas made out of hockey sticks.
Yeah.
CCM brand to be specific. And then
Which
Ovechkin,
I think is
Backstrom.
All he uses, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
Ovechkin, Backstrom, Oshie, and Wilson presented Carlson's gift from the team, which was again a personalized Toulon putter, and a golf trip to Ireland. And then they took another photo on ice with his goal song, which is Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry, which he's had for seasons and seasons and seasons.
I wish we had goal songs.
Yeah.
I don't think we have specific.
I don't know why you don't. I love them.
Some of our players do.
Yeah.
I'm curious now. But go
All
ahead.
of ours do. So he also got to repeat his rookie lap just 15 years later, which is really cute. Obviously, everyone wore the warm-up jerseys that all said 74. And instead of having Carlson's kids announce the lineup, they had his father, Dick, and brother Andrew announce the starting lineup, which was very cute. And then former Hershey's teammates, Alsner, Holtby, Jay Beagle, Eric Fair, Mathieu Perreault, all reflected on playing on the Bears with Carlson. And they even had a special guest with Dmitry Orlov, longtime friend. So it was a really great ceremony, really, really cute. Everyone loved it. Carly 1K was trending for a while because that's what they called it. It was TJ 1K for Osh and then Carly 1K. Very cute, very nice little celebration. Crazy that we got 2 1K celebrations within like 2 weeks of each other. That's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, the Wild don't have any specific like player. We just have the team votes on our goal song.
You know, every player on our team gets to pick their own, which is super fun.
That's funny. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
I know our first ones were Born to be Wild, which I always liked. But yeah. I don't even know the name of our fucking one now. It's
I do want to just confirm that the 2020-2021 season in 56 games, Connor McDavid did in fact have 105 points.
What up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
33 goals, 72 assists. That's absurd.
That is insane.
Just wanted to confirm that I didn't have that stat wrong.
Yeah, fuck you for being
absurd.
Right.
It's disgusting.
That is disgusting. All right. Any other team updates from the camp?
Nope, that's it for me.
All right. For the Wild, this may be a little bit old, but it was announced that Marco Rossi was nominated for the Bill Masterson Memorial Trophy. He is, further down on the list.
Oh, wait, I did forget that actually. Oshie was also nominated for that as well.
On there.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me.
Urho Vakanainen was nominated from the Ducks.
Urho Vakanainen.
There, I gave you team news. I don't care. It's Urho Vakanainen.
Give you team news. Vakanainen's been like kind of quiet all year. He's been hurt most of it.
He has been. Connor Ingram, Danton Heinen, UP Luukkonen, Oliver Heinen. Yeah, I mean, these are all names nobody I don't think is surprised.
Right.
Petrangelo. I can't say his name correctly either.
Yeah, no, you got it right.
Crosby, of course. Claude Giroux. Fuck him. Jonathan Quick's
Giroux.
on here, which is kind of interesting. Cal Clutterbuck. We love a former Wild player on here. I think he's the only other one that's played for us.
Member of the 1,000 Games Club this year. Cal Clutterbuck.
Yes, we
love
15
15 people this year, which is crazy.
It's nuts.
We also had, I have one update on Kirill. It said Minnesota Wild has scored 90 goals in their past 30 games. Out of those 90, Kirill, you know how I brag about my boy, Kirill Kaprizov has scored 23 of them, assisted on 24 of them, and been on the ice for 59 of them.
God damn.
Nice.
It's kind of impressive. I also wanted to touch base because we've been talking about it all season. The phenomenal prank war between the one and only Marc-Andre Fleury, who is honestly the king of pranks in the NHL. Nobody can touch him. And I was telling Graham earlier, I'm like, I don't think he's ever repeated a prank either.
No, which is insane.
Yeah.
Right? For as many years as he's been in the league and everything.
It's pretty wild.
But his prank war with Brandon Duhaime started when they both played for the Minnesota Wild. Quick recap is Duhaime basically said Fleury plays great for being 50. Fleury's not 50. Fleury's my age. So fuck you, Duhaime. And then Fleury nailed Duhaime's shoes to the floor, so he had to wear these furry-ass calf-high boots out of the arena. He took his shirt away, so he had to wear shirtless under his blazer, leaving a game. Duhaime fired back. I don't remember what Duhaime did at that point. Fleury then, when he got his 552nd win, his shirt that he wore all game was the Dewey 1 and Dewey 2 soda stick shirt. But on them, he drew like a mustache on Dewey 1 and glasses and, whatever on Dewey 2. But Duhaime, unfortunately, did get traded to Colorado, who's kicking our ass right now. They just had so Duhaime just had his first game back in Minnesota this last week. Thankfully, I got to be there. I was really hoping that it would be sappy enough to make him cry and then he would play bad. Didn't happen. He immediately started fighting with Jake Middleton, like in the first period, which I was like, what the fuck? But I think they were just having fun pushing each other around. But Duhaime TP'd Fleury's Hummer in our parking garage.
Yeah,
wrote something on one of the squares of toilet paper. It was pretty epic. And Fleury's reaction was, he's an old friend. Well, a friend some days, which made me laugh. And he goes, but I think he forgets we're in Colorado next week. So everybody was like, I think waiting on bated breath. Whether you're a Minnesota fan or not, I think everybody at this point loves Fleury.
Oh, it's been so entertaining.
He still has Minnesota plates on his car, too.
Does he?
Which is funny.
That's amazing.
He does. I can tell by the blue bars on it. Anyway, so when we got to Colorado yesterday before today's game, and in the parking garage, I first saw it on the Avalanche's media team site. Apparently, they got a call from Minnesota's media team saying, you might want to come check out the parking garage. Something happened. Because Fleury had said, like I said, he forgets we're there next week. I forgot to mention that. But so Fleury, first of all, apparently him and a bunch of guys who remain unnamed went to Home Depot that morning. And there was dirt with flowers over the hood of Duhaime's Jeep. Obviously an homage to Flower. Also, it reminded me of a grave. He put a for sale sign in the window and took all of the tires off of his car. And apparently they were outside of the parking garage, locked up with a chain and lock. On the for sale sign, it said, my dear friend. And then in the notes section, it said something about, let me see if I can get a picture of it clearer so I can get the words right. Can I zoom in on that? I can't. But anyway, it said something about if you want the key to the lock for your tires. Oh, there are like hockey sticks, it looks like, on here too. And then the bolt or the bolts to his tires are with the flower bed. But the for sale sign said, if you want the lock to your tires, I want an apology video. And in the locker room, I believe after practice or before today's game, Duhaime said something about raising the white flag.
Yeah, no, I think that kind of
out.
That's the knockout blow.
I'm done. Yeah. They showed the video of Duhaime walking into the garage, and he immediately went, "Don't we pay people for security? What are we paying them for?" And then he said something about this clearly wasn't. And apparently this morning or today at 1:49 p.m. it was still the exact same way in the parking garage.
That's so funny.
The Minnesota Wild on Twitter said, "Still here, BTW."
That's so funny.
And then said, "Well, at least someone dropped off lug wrenches now, which must be what else is on the car." How is this not scratching his head? Somebody from the Bruins 017 says. But literally Dewey said, "Don't we pay security? What are we paying them for?" And then goes, "I need a ride home. I'm not dealing with this today."
Yeah. And
literally left his fucking car like that. He also made some comment about Flower not being able to change a tire. And he must have been a more than one person job. And Fleury's reaction was, "I can, he can't. That's his problem." This actually says it. "If you would like to know where the key to the lock is and the tools to put the tires back on, send me an apology video," is what it said on there. So fucking phenomenal. We love the prank war. I hope it's not over. I don't think it is. Something tells me it will be resurrected next season.
We'll see.
Even though I mean, especially with Colorado beating us by 3 right now, 5-2. I feel like Duhaime's going to get the confidence to fire back at some point.
Yeah.
But I love it. I mean, who doesn't love Flower, man? So that's all I have
people
for
he
our
pranks,
team updates.
Probably.
Right?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Unless you're Crosby, who just always finds a way to get even.
Yeah.
Well, and I just love at the All-Star game where Crosby's like, what time did he get here? Because Crosby was there at like 5 in the morning.
Yeah, Crosby's an early guy on game day. And he was like, Jesus, he beat me here?
Yeah. He's like, what fucking... And I think they said he was there at like 3 or 4 in the morning. Which is just hilarious. Chris, have the Coyotes found a new home?
Well, it looks like they're trying to, but it looks like there's some pushback. So it was announced early last week, that there was plans put in place to develop a new arena, in the Phoenix area, right near the city's border, into Scottsdale. It's a $68.5 million project based on the appraisal of the land and what's going to entail to get the stadium. But the mayor of Scottsdale has said he does not welcome the plans because apparently they are using a cheaper developer to do this. I guess there's been pushback on the infrastructure design of the city of Scottsdale and Phoenix. So it's looking like it's not gonna or we're just getting a pushback. The Coyotes have indicated the land would be used for an arena and an entertainment district that would include restaurants, and a retail center, hotel, office space, a 3,500 person theater, and 1,900 residential units. So very similar to LA Live, very similar to what they have in Toronto. Very similar to what was proposed from the Washington Capitals earlier this season. So we're seeing some good moves here for Arizona, but yet again, they're meeting another roadblock in trying to get an arena set up in the state of Arizona. This is now the 4th time since the announcement that they were going to be playing in Mullet Arena and that they were subsequently evicted from their stadium, that we've had some sort of backlash and some pushback on this. So it's starting to seem more and more that we're not going to get another expansion team in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
That we might be seeing the Arizona Coyotes move to Utah. You need everyone to be on the same page, and especially if the mayor of Scottsdale, which considering you're probably going to have some of your infrastructure, if it's on the northeast side of Phoenix where the Scottsdale border is, you're obviously going to need to have both of them working together on this, right? So I just don't know where this goes from here with the Coyotes.
Well, yeah, it does look like the Arizona Land Department bid documents, which we'll have to wait until June 27th for that auction to actually happen.
Yeah.
But those bid documents require that the successful bidder actually does the 64th Street /101 access, which is what the mayor wants. So now it's in the Coyotes' hands, which the mayor is now trying to like be all cutesy about it, saying essentially there's an open net so the Coyotes can score easily.
Well, because he said he doesn't want the team to leave the state. It's like, all right, well now you're like one of the people that could cause them to leave the state. So it's like, we need you and yes, traffic is always going to be a concern, especially when you put an arena in the middle of a city. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever been to New York City, but I grew up very close to New York City, a couple hours away. So if you want to go to a Rangers game, like MSG is literally in the middle of the fucking city. So You want to talk about chaos trying to get to Madison Square Garden? But yeah, no, I'm curious to see how this plays out. And
a fucking joke.
Oh, it's a nightmare. I love New York City. I love it very much, but fuck. But no, we will obviously keep you guys posted in the future on what comes about of the situation. But
yeah,
I don't
next
know.
update shouldn't be until June 27th, unless, of course, the Kaidos are like, fuck you, which could happen. I mean, hey, the situation with the Caps space got denied here in Virginia, and now they're going back to DC until like 2059 or some shit like that.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
are they going to stay in Capital One?
They're going to stay at Capital One, and DC has committed to offering like millions and millions of dollars to expand the area there. So
How old's that
it makes
arena?
more sense. I don't know. It's older. I mean, it's not super old, but it definitely needs a facelift. And it definitely needs more space. There's not enough space at Capital One. So that's some of the updates that they're looking to get. So
yeah, I would say that building, it's, it's in a good location from what I've seen. Is it in the shitty part of DC?
There's quite a bit of shittiness around it, because they have not, as much as the Caps bring into the area, they have not been able to sustain other businesses the same way. So you have a lot of closed storefronts and things like that, and you have a lot of just poverty in the area, which unfortunately only leads to an increase in crime, and it's usually crimes that are avoidable when your community is able to support you better.
Right.
Kind of a thing.
Right.
So, but they're committed to helping to support that area. DC has said that we understand that that's a big concern, and so we're going to do better. So we'll see.
Yeah, I would say we haven't really heard much update on the whole Cap situation either recently. So, I mean, and that's the update. There was question about Anaheim moving spot, and I was like, why? The Honda Center's 30 years old. It's in a perfect spot. They've just built a bunch of infrastructure around there, because if you're going down that highway in Anaheim, you're driving towards the Honda Center. Well, you have to pass Angel Stadium first, and that brand new train station that is gorgeous. Plus, there's an amphitheater being put in that area as well. So it's like Anaheim would be the Ducks organization would be stupid to leave the Honda Center. It's a beautiful building, and you've got all this fucking space. No one's fucking with you there. And it's in downtown Anaheim, which is not a lot of crime. It's a very nice area. So, you can only hope to get that lucky.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dee?
Yes?
Tell us about the battle for the Hudson.
Oh, God, it was so fucking funny.
That was so wonderful.
It was genuinely so hilarious. So
it was toddlers. It was toddlers
it was.
Getting told off by their mommy and daddy.
Yeah, so it was the New York Rangers versus the New Jersey Devils on April 3rd or 2nd, I can't remember. Anyway, within seconds, which actually it wasn't even the fastest fight in a game. That is because of the Rangers versus Caps game. But anyway, within 2 seconds, the entire team launched into a massive brawl. That's all 8 players ejected.
Who started it? Just so you guys can, what player started it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm getting there, Chris. Matt Rempe and Curtis McDermott.
You see, Matt Rempe.
Shocking. Rempe was involved in it.
Rempe was involved in it.
Okay.
That kid is playing old school fucking hockey, man.
Yeah.
He is, but here's my issue with him, right? I'm all for good hockey fights. You guys know that. I love a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that child has no respect for the elders of the game.
Right.
And somebody needs to knock his fucking teeth down his throat. Because
someone's got to beat him in a fight.
No one's done it yet.
Right.
I can tell you that much.
Well, he's like 6'8". He's fucking huge.
He's a fucking monster.
Yeah.
Also, one of the teams we played recently, and I fucking can't remember it, but their goalie is like 6'5". And we had to play against him, and it fucking was obvious.
So the reason why the fight happened was because Rempe injured Jonas Siegenthaler and then taunted the bench afterwards. the last time the two teams played.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Previous to the Siegenthaler injury, also injured Nathan Bastian in the game before that. So McDermott was like, somebody has to fucking go for him.
Yeah.
So the matchups were Curtis McDermott versus Matt Rempe, Kevin Ball versus Barclay Goodrow, John Marino versus Keandre Miller, Chris Tierney versus Jacob Truba, Curtis Lazar versus Jimmy Vesey.
Dude, Key fucked him up. I don't know if you watched the Keandre Miller part, but Key fucked him up.
I didn't watch it.
It was good.
Yeah, it was nice.
So the line brawl resulted
in all the pictures of them all in the penalty boxes.
It was
like
terrific.
Well, they weren't in the penalty boxes for long.
Yeah, the players that like served them though, or whatever it was.
No. So the line brawl resulted in 130 penalty minutes in total, 65 penalty minutes for each the Devils and the Rangers combined. Tierney, Marino, McDermott, Ball, Truba, Miller, Rempe, and Goodrow all got game misconducts.
Game misconducts.
Mm-hmm. So the only players not ejected, and actually I lied to you earlier, Chris, Jimmy Vesey and Curtis Lazar were the first, what the officials determined were the first ones to begin the fight, and everyone jumped in afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The only one I saw was Rempe and McDermott. The only ones that I saw.
For some reason. So yeah, everyone else was given a game misconduct because as per Rule 46.7, a game misconduct penalty should be imposed on any player who is assessed a major penalty for fighting after the original altercation has started. Notwithstanding this rule, at the discretion of the referee, the automatic game misconduct penalty may be waived for a player in the altercation if the opposing player was clearly the instigator of the altercation. They decided not to do that. We also saw the head coach, Peter Laviolette, and interim head coach, Travis Green, trading barbs. Apparently, Laviolette just looked over and was like, "Fuck you, dude." And Travis was like, "What did I do? I don't understand why I'm here."
Sounds like love.
It was absolutely insane. Funnily though, they put all the players into the penalty box, and they thought that Matt Rempe said later on that they thought they were going to get all cozy in there, and then the referee was like, no, you all have to leave now.
Yeah,
every single one of you. So they by the time they all got settled into the box, they all were then brought back out of the box. And then you saw the benches for the rest of the game were just empty. Like there was so much space.
You were missing an entire line.
Yeah, it was so funny. A great fight. For some reason, we started calling it the Battle of the Hudson because these are two New York, New Jersey-based teams.
Based between the Hudson River is the main geographical thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was
hilarious.
Watching the broadcast, like the intermission stuff. One of the commentators, and I agree with him, just the way he goes, "Isn't hockey awesome?"
Yeah.
Like as much as we love the scoring and the technique, I love a good line brawl, and I don't give a fuck who knows it.
Right.
I love a good line brawl, and if there's one thing that Matt Rempe is doing is he's bringing back the goon era. That kid is there to fight. He can score, and he's got talent, but he's putting himself in a position where he goes, listen, I don't care who you are. I just want to square off with you. Let's do this. And I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
To an extent, I am. Again, the respect thing has an issue for me because he reminds me a lot of Derek Bugard, and I loved Derek Bugard. May he rest.
Yeah.
Loved him. He's up on my wall, right?
Yeah.
Shocker. I have wild stuff everywhere. Fucking tell. Anywho, and I love the goon era. I love a good fight, but again, I have an issue with him not feeling like he respects anybody. And if that's his shtick. If that's the character he's gonna play,
he's gonna play the heel. Yeah, he's gonna play the heel.
Yeah. He's gonna be the heel of the NHL. But I still hope somebody fucking knocks his teeth down his throat.
But you know what? That's what's gonna keep people tuning in. Yeah, well, that's what's gonna keep people tuning into the Rangers to see what happens because the kid's a force on the ice.
He is, but he also and maybe I'll hit it later, but I don't think. Has he been fined or suspended at all this year?
Yeah.
Any of the shit he's done?
For the Siegenthaler stuff, he got fined. Or he got suspended.
Okay, yeah. He got suspended for 4 games for the Siegenthaler.
Yeah.
No, I was like, wait, he did get suspended not long ago. He's been fined, I think, too. I think he's been fined as well.
He hasn't been fined.
No? Just suspended?
No. Just the suspended 4 games.
He's making a name for himself, and we're talking about him. That's
right.
It is working
for him.
Yeah, it's working. We're talking about him. He lives rent free in every hockey fan's head.
I was surprised that he dropped Reeves. Okay, yeah,
I'm not.
He's a lot bigger than Reeves, and I get that.
But younger.
Reeves was wanting to fight him.
Yeah,
Reeves was all hyped to do it.
I will say they did have.
But I think he's also going to get a target on his back. From everybody in the NHL. And not to say he can't stand up to everybody, but somebody at some point is going to knock some sense into his head.
Just can't wait to see the eventual fight between him and Tom Wilson.
Oh my God.
And then have to see people on hockey Twitter pick sides between Matt Rempe and Tom Wilson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's going to be so funny.
Do you think Rempe can beat Brad Marchand? He's another one that we haven't seen him fight Marshy yet. And Marshy hits like a Mack truck.
Better chirps.
Marshy hits like a Mack truck, though.
Does he? I feel... How big is he?
Well, so I loved the best part of the Devils Rangers fight was watching Rempe and McDermott go for what felt like was going to be a 3-round fucking bout in the middle of in the center of the ice. They were throwing for minutes.
Marchand's the height.
It was a great fight.
15-year-old.
Yeah, but he hits.
But see,
hard.
The thing is
and
love
Rempe's
him or hate him, mostly hate him.
8.5.
Yeah,
and has. Man, he's a baby. I forget that he was born my fucking sophomore year of high school.
Yeah, I think Marchand would win that because he has some experience.
Can Marchand reach his fucking face? I
don't know if that matters as much.
Low blow, to the body.
He's to the body twice.
Drop him.
Right.
He's a fucking foot taller.
Yeah.
Matt Rempe, please go away in NHL Reddit.
Yeah.
You know what though? I'm here for it. I'm here for whatever he's doing because
everybody needs a heel, right? Every sport needs a heel. I don't know. There's something about him I just don't like.
He has an attitude that I mean, his conversations after the way he injured Siegenthaler and Bastian, he's kind of just like, man, whatever, it's hockey. Fucking get over it. Which I don't think is going to serve him well.
No, that's going to bite him in the ass. It's not that kind of hockey anymore. I mean, we've talked about that the length of our podcasts. It's not that type of hockey anymore.
If he keeps doing that, he's going to be a bigger villain than Tom Wilson, which I'll be grateful for because thank God,
Tom Wilson is a villain.
Tom doesn't.
But the thing is that Tom isn't as much of a dick as Matt Rempe is.
No, it's just when Tom is like a lot of hockey players.
Yeah.
Well, and Tom Wilson's like a lot of hockey players where the helmet goes on and you get on the ice, you become a different person.
Right.
Like, do I think Tom Wilson's a despicable human being? No, he's probably a sweet human being, but on the ice, I fucking hate him. But again, that is the role.
He's good,
because he's
hate him because
good and because he's had very dirty tendencies. Well, I don't really hate him because he's good. It's more because of the history that he's had with suspensions and plays that have been dirty. But that's the same issue I have with Brad Marchand.
Really cleaned up his act.
Yeah,
sure. No,
we gotta give him that benefit of the doubt.
Until this year,
he still gets.
He got suspended,
but again, we talked about
that.
He lost.
You could say the same about Hartman. Hartman's a repeat offender too.
No, but it's more so but you see what I'm saying? It's that villain-esque mantra that he has, and that's
advocate here.
Yeah, and again,
every team has to have a villain.
I have very much so sung Tom Wilson's praises this year. Multiple times.
No, that's an interesting thought though about what each team's villain.
Ours was like Ryan Kessler, Corey Perry, like guys that just got under your fucking skin. Yeah. And Corey Perry has been a very
But I don't know
player.
about who on the Wild that would be. Outside of getting under your skin because they're good. But if you're talking about
well, you had Ryan Reeves for a while, and he's not very good.
Right.
And definitely
Ryan Reeves isn't good. He's just a douche.
I actually had the debate with somebody sitting next to me at one of the recent games because she loves Reeves, and I was like, I liked Reeves too, but I would take Delorier every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Because Delorier, when you need Delorier most, he can score. He scored with us.
He's the better scorer and the better player.
You know how many game winners he scored for us? So many, because when push comes to shove, Dez is a beast, and he can fight with the best of them. He's physical, but he also can put himself into position to have some sort of extra offensive output. And Ryan Reeves has never really been that guy. Like, he can score, sure. No. He, of course, like, his talent speaks for himself. He plays in the NHL, but he's not. Right. He's not a two. Yeah.
I mean, I like Reeves.
He's on a decline.
I like fighter guys. I like the big bruisers. I like Maroon for the same reason. Unfortunately,
I love Pat Maroon.
I like Bogo for that too.
Yeah, Pat Maroon's also won multiple Stanley Cups.
Right. And we were really hoping that, like, having him on the team, but I think Fleury has done more for the team in the locker room than Maroon did. And once John Hines came in, Maroon and him just did not see eye to eye. And Maroon stuck it out a lot longer than he intended to, I think.
Yeah.
Into the Hines era, but Bogo is a big guy too, but we have some of our bigger, like, littler guys. I mean, I fell in love with Matt Zuccarello the day I saw him leave the ice. Like, both skates left the ice to punch a dude in the face.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I like you. You're little and feisty.
I don't know about Zach Bogosian anymore. Like, when he was with Vancouver, sure, that was when I could see his dual threat. But I don't know. Like, I feel like he hasn't been the best recently, and hopefully him being in Minnesota has helped turn it around a little bit for him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm just gonna be the first one to say I'm all aboard the Matt Rempe train, and I think that we're taking this bitch to the stratosphere. we need a tracker of everyone he's fought.
I'm sure someone's already on it.
Can you hear us? We can't hear you.
Matt's scared.
Oh, now I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. My fucking headphones, when I switched them, at first was like, like, I'm actually freaked out a little bit.
That's crazy.
It's scary. Sorry. So I missed everything you said about Bogo, but I do really like him too. Like, he has no ties to Minnesota prior to playing for the Wild. He's owned a house here for 6 years. Because they played here. He saw somebody's house on Lake Minnetonka, fell in love with the area, and bought his house. His kids were so excited. Like, they'd spend summers here. And so when he got traded, his kids were super excited. Like, the guys behind me a couple of games ago, his kids go to school with Bogo's kids, and, like, he's a great, like, normal guy off the ice, but he was definitely a big brawler back in the day. I think maybe having kids has kind of calmed him down a little bit, which is fair. But if you need him to fucking punch somebody out, he'll be right there to help defend him, to defend his guys if he's on the ice, But even guys like Kirill and Faber and, some of our smaller guys or we've talked about especially how, like, the European players are more skill-based than some of the American players or even Canadian players who don't mind getting in fights, but, like, we've had guys that have come over that, I mean, Kirill will throw a punch when he needs to, and Babe certainly isn't afraid to,
That's why I laugh when people try to fight, like, Ovi or Crosby, and it's like, Ovi you see fight more, but people forget, like, Crosby does know how to throw a punch, and he throws them pretty well.
I don't know why you would want to fight Ovechkin.
Too, isn't he?
If you've ever been, like, hit by him.
Don't fight Russian players. They're scary.
Oh, God. Like, I was going to say, Russian players, like, I'd be a little bit afraid for, like, myself.
Ovi and Gino are, like, the two immediately that come to my head. I'm like, I don't want to fight either of them.
Yeah.
Right.
I've watched Gino murk some dudes, and I've seen how hard Ovi hits.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt really bad for Svech when he decided he wanted to go toe-to-toe with Ovechkin. Ovechkin's like, you sure? You really sure you want to do this? Yeah. He fucking bodied Svech. The kid was like 19, I think, at the time. It was bad.
I love it. But you know what, though? What a fucking dream maker, like, that would be. Can you imagine being, I mean, because Svechnikov's, what, 5-10 years younger than Ovi, at least?
Svech?
He's not that old, right?
No, Svech is like 22 or something.
Is he? God, I thought he
Isn't
was
he
older
young
than
as shit?
He is 24.
Okay.
Damn, I thought he was older than that. But okay.
Pandemic years.
So like, yeah, almost 15.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was Svech that wanted to fight.
I'm sure it
Sounds
was.
about right.
But again, like, can you imagine like being a little kid, like, I want to fight that dude someday because he's that good. You know what I mean? Like, go down in history as being a dude to stand toe to toe with Ovechkin, which is fine, you know.
Yeah, he was 19 at the time.
Jesus. I'm sorry. He fucking deserved to get dropped at that point.
First career fight. And Ovechkin did reach out afterwards, apparently, and was like, sorry, bud.
Stars of the week. Gee, what do you have for us?
All right. So real quick, the stars of the week from the week we missed. First star was Connor McDavid. Second star was Logan Thompson. Third star was Alexis Lafreniere. Stars of the month for the month of March was first star Connor McDavid. Second star Nathan McKinnon. Third star Philip Forsberg. And rookie of the month, obviously, Connor Bedard. Which brings us up to current, which we start with our third star of the week, Artemi Panarin, left winger for the New York Rangers. Panarin ranks second in the NHL with two goals, 6 assists across 4 games to guide the league-leading Rangers into a 3-1-0 week as a matchday franchise record for wins in one season. He notched 1 assist in a 5-2 loss to the Pittsburgh Penguins, followed by 1 goal, 1 assist, including a helper on the tie-breaking goal by Chris Kreider. In a 4-3 triumph over the New Jersey Devils, Panarin added an assist in a 4-3 victory against the Detroit Red Wings before closing the week with 1 goal and 3 assists as New York rallied for a 5-2 win versus the Montreal Canadiens. The 32-year-old Panarin sits fourth in the NHL with 46 goals and 69 assists through 78 total contests this season. Second in franchise history behind only Jaromir Jagr's 2005-2006 campaign, where he scored 54 goals and 69 assists. Panarin also paces among the top 10 in the league for power play assists, has fourth with 32, power play points, fourth with 42, assists, fifth with 69, and goals, sixth with 46. He also leads shots on goal. He's ninth with 285 shots on goal so far this season. Next, we have second star Sidney Crosby, center for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think we all know where he plays. Crosby plays second in the NHL with 5 goals in 4 contests as the Penguins completed a perfect week to extend their point streak to 8 games dating back to March 26th, and they moved within 1 point of the final wildcard position in the Eastern Conference. Crosby recorded 2 goals and 1 assist in a 5-2 win against the New York Rangers to clinch his 19th career point-per-game season, a total achieved by only one other person in league history, and a guess is correct, Wayne Gretzky. I didn't give you a chance because that's the only fucking answer.
Yeah, for real.
Only other answer.
I mean,
He's also done it 19 times, so if Sidney sticks around next year and continues to play this well, he will break that Gretzky record.
One more year, at least.
Yeah, I hope so.
After this season,
yeah.
Yeah.
He followed that with
Ovi will be back next year.
He has 2 more years on his contract. I don't think he's going to quit before the end of his contract.
That's
But that's barring anything crazy happening, so you never know.
Right.
Yeah. He followed that with 2 third-period goals as Pittsburgh rallied from a 3-1 deficit for a 6-3 victory over the New Jersey Devils. Crosby, who was held off the score sheet in a 4-1 triumph versus the Washington Capitals, hell yeah, baby, then scored in a 5-4 win against the Tampa Bay Lightning to become the 7th different player in NHL history to reach the 40-goal milestone at age 36 or older. The 2-time Hart Memorial Trophy winner leads the Penguins in goals with 40, 14 more than any other player on his team. Assists, 45, 3 more than any other player. And points, 85, 23 more than any other player. Through 77 total contests this season, as the team looks to become the first in league history to overcome a 9-point deficit in its final 11 games to reach a Stanley Cup playoff. Pretty impressive score there, which is why, again, I think that they'll probably pull some magic out of their asshole and take that spot away from them.
They're hot right now. They're real hot right now.
Unfortunately. And that leaves us with first star, a name we have said many times on this podcast this season, Nikita Kucherov, a right winger for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Kuch posted a league best 9 assists and 10 points in 4 games to propel the Lightning to a pair of wins as they climbed their 7th consecutive playoff berth. He opened the week with 1 helper in a 4-2 loss to the Red Wings. He then registered 3 straight 3-point performances, the 3rd time he has accomplished this feat in his career. He collected 3 assists in a 4-1 victory over the Toronto Maple Leafs to surpass his franchise record for points in one season, established in the 2018-19 season, en route to capturing the Art Ross Trophy. Kucherov added 1 goal and 2 assists in a 7-4 win over the Montreal Canadiens to become the first Tampa Bay player to compile 90 assists in one season. That's crazy that he's the first to do that.
That is
for
nuts.
Tampa. And the second player on any team to reach a milestone in the 23-24 season following Edmonton Oil's Connor McDavid. After no one had done so since 2006-2007. Kucherov capped the week with 3 more helpers, his 10th 3-assist and 22nd 3-point game of the campaign, and a 5-4 defeat versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. The 30-year-old Kucherov has points in 6 straight outings dating back to March 27th, leads the NHL with 43 goals and 93 assists through 76 total appearances this season, 3 points ahead of second place Nathan MacKinnon. Kucherov also ranks among the top 23-24 performers in power play assists, first with 38, power play points, first with 51, assists, second with 93, shots on goal, tied for 6th with 296, goals, tied for 7th with 43, and power play goals, tied for 13th with 13.
Nice.
Whew.
That's not
Speed read. It was good.
So,
right?
I honestly, I'm one of the few people that truly thinks that the Hart Trophy should go to Kucherov this year, and I think he's more of a valuable player to the organization than I would say that Connor McDavid is currently. So I know it's probably insane, but realistically, I feel like Kuch should probably win the Hart this year.
Interesting.
We'll see.
I know, we all know because I love McDavid, but still, I love Nikita Kucherov, and I think he's also earned it this year.
I like Kuch quite a bit too.
Kuch is a beast, so
yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about any other trophies out there though. Let's talk about the bad boys in the NHL.
Hell yeah.
Cue the bad boys theme. So for suspensions since last week, I know y'all talked about Tom Wilson. We got to bring it up again a little bit. Big 6-game suspension, which is a little surprising for me because that's his first suspension of the season, right?
It's his first suspension in over 3 years.
Wow. So 6 games is huge. I didn't see the high stick, so I can't really weigh in on it. But that seems big to me. So just wanted to weigh in on that a little bit. But again, I didn't see it, so I can't really say much about it.
Yeah, it was extreme. They did it because of his name, basically.
Right. Which
but he deserved a suspension, to be clear.
Right. But I agree with you, and I'm tired of Wilson getting shit on.
Yeah.
March 28th, Caden Goulet from the Montreal Canadiens got suspended for 1 game for slashing Travis Konecny, sacrificing $4,496.53 of his salary.
I cried.
And the one I'm going to go on a little tiny. I'll keep it short. I'll try. Rant. Ryan Hartman from the Minnesota Wild got suspended for 3 games for unsportsmanlike conduct towards the officials. Here is my feeling on it. The way the rule is written, yes, he did throw his stick after the whistle. I didn't even see it. I was at the game, didn't see it. He threw his stick out of anger because it was a shit game. Right. It was, I think, the Vegas game, and clearly the refs were fucking being paid by Vegas. That's all I have to say. That or they have a hard on for Vegas.
There have been some really bad refs this season across the board.
And we talked
not
about
just
it.
my game.
Yeah,
other
no, it's been pretty rough.
Yeah.
It's been rough.
And I'm curious to look at the names of the refs for that game. Again, because of course that affects my team. But to see if they're the ones that have been bad all along the season. But clearly they had a hard on for Vegas. So many missed calls. Yes. Hartman threw his stick in the general direction of an official, which is how the rule is written. However, he threw his stick out of anger. The official happened to be skating past. It wasn't an intentional thing. But again, I get it. I'm not mad that he got suspended.
It happens, yeah.
Yeah, I think 3 games is a
on
little
April
high
Fool's Day, so I wish it was a joke. 3 games, I think, is high. I think he got 3 games because he's a repeat offender. I get that.
Two is fine. 1, 2, sure. 3 seems a bit much.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially when you only have X many games left in the season.
Right.
It's like
that was a huge loss for us for 3 games.
Yeah. Same with the Wilson one for us.
Here is my issue with that game, though. Jack Eichel speared Kirill Kaprizov very deliberately, got a 5-minute major and a game misconduct, but somehow didn't get suspended or fined. That's my issue with it.
Yeah.
Again, we will always call it the inconsistency of DOPS. If you're going to do it to Hartman and Wilson and all these other players, then where's Cousins and
Rempe,
where's
now?
Right.
Dmitry Kulikov got suspended. Sorry, I just had seen that was when I was out, but he doesn't ever get suspended, so I'm a little surprised to see his name on there.
Right.
But yeah, it's all about the consistency, and that's what the NHL is missing. We've been on that rant a million times on this podcast. We don't need to get into it all again. You know, just have some consistency with it. As far as fines goes, March 27th, Bowen Byram from the Buffalo Sabres got fined $5,000 for interference against Agnes Cruikshank. Hell of a
great name.
Such a great name.
Hell of a name.
Shout out Angus.
Angus Cruikshank.
Angus Cruikshank.
Are you is that an alias?
He must be.
That can't be his given name.
He's Canadian. That's his given name. I don't know what to tell you. Incredible.
That's a terrific name.
March 28th, Ryan Strome from the Anaheim Ducks got fined the maximum of $5,000 for cross-checking Tyree Karate.
Yeah, he cross-checked the shit out of him is what he did.
I
love Stromer, but holy fuck. No one really deserves a cross-check like that.
I'll have to look
unless he said something about his mother. It's like, goddamn, Strome.
Mama Rhodes.
Turn it down some, Strome.
Yeah.
You guys have the other one, D. I feel like you get it.
Yeah.
They're a little aggressive.
Dude, Stromer for us, not all that aggressive and has been killing it.
So it just must be
it for us.
It must just be the older Strome.
It's the older Strome.
Ryan's a little aggressive.
And then this one didn't get assessed until March 29th, but it happened on March 23rd. Interesting. Garnett Hathaway from the Flyers got fined $2,000 for a second citation for diving/embellishment.
Yeah,
that must be something that they're teaching there in Philly because Garney wasn't diving for us.
Well, but it's a second citation.
You play for Tortorella.
Yeah. Oh, Oscar Sundqvist got one for diving. Nick Cousins,
there's been a couple of them.
Yeah, there's been a lot this year, and there's been a lot that have not been called. Let me just say.
Right. Yeah. Oh God. There were so many in the St. Louis game.
Yeah.
One of the St. Louis players, when they played us, literally hit his knees on the ice, did this, and nobody was near him. The closest player was his own, and it was like 15 feet away. Like, so get your ass up on your skates. You're fine.
Yeah. I love that that's a rule, and like most sports, it isn't. Where I'm like, the NHL's like, no, if you dive, it's like, nah, I guess what you're getting is
right. But like, it only gets called half the time. Again, it's an inconsistency thing. And I think, but St. Louis tries to pull penalties like that all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
And they get away with it, and that's fucking frustrating.
Yeah.
Another not shocker. On April 6th. Evander Kane from the Oilers got fined the maximum of $5,000 for slashing Dryden Hunt. Another good name. Not shocking. Evander's got fucking fined how many times this year? Actually, that's his only fine this year. That's surprising. He's been suspended this year, though. I believe. Not that it matters. I know he got the shit fucking fined and suspended out of him last year.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't even been suspended this year. Interesting. I know he was hurt for a while, so maybe that's why. Anywho, that's it for the bad boys of the last 2 weeks. For injuries, I will try to keep this. I know I was out for a couple of weeks, so I will try to keep it as seamless and non-repetitive as possible. Forgive me, though, if I do repeat any. For the Anaheim Ducks, we have John Gibson, who is estimated to be back April 12th. He is listed just as out. Mason McTavish is expected back April 18th, listed as out. Pavel Mintyukov.
Yeah, pretty much. Mintyukov.
Is expected back April 12th, which is this Friday.
Real quick, Danger, if it makes you feel any better about people pronouncing things, on ESPN's broadcast tonight, they pronounce Hendrix Lapierre, which I'm just going to spell it out for you really quick. Lapierre.
God, I would know that.
Yeah, they called him Lapierre. And then they called him La Perriere.
That's amazing.
They could not say La Pierre, even though Pierre is one of the
drunk.
Yeah, that's
Pierre's one of the a really common and notable name in the NHL. Like think of all the Pierres we've had, first or last
and maybe
name.
It's because I took French in high school and middle
school. Yeah, the French ones tend to be easier.
Would get that.
Right. No, they called him Hendrix Lapierre and Hendrix Laperriere. Which is just the last one. It's just funny as fuck.
That's also Pierre is not that uncommon of a
it's a pretty common.
Perrier is common because of the water. That's spelled completely differently.
Yeah.
All right, I don't feel quite as bad anymore.
There you
go. Everybody in the fucking comments can lay off.
I did fuck up a couple easy names in the last 2 times that I did it, so don't feel bad. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. For the Coyotes, Nick Bjugstad, former Wild player, sad to see him on this list. He is estimated to be back April 17th. He is listed as out. He does have an undisclosed injury. Won't play Tuesday against Seattle today after traveling back to Phoenix, according to Craig Morgan of PHNX Sports. So if that's wrong, call him, not me. Brett Hayton is expected.
Totally kidding, Craig.
Fuck you, Craig. Barrett Hayton is estimated return date April 17th. He's just listed as out. Jacob Voracek, I don't know if you guys talked about him last week, but I don't remember him being on my list before. His estimated return date is July 1st.
I
hate to say it. I don't think you're going to be playing in July, Coyotes. He is listed as injured reserve. That is not what I was on. Sorry about the dog. For Boston, again, I'm sad to see this name on here too. Pat Maroon, estimated return date April 13th. He is having a back issue. He is trending toward being available to play Saturday against Pittsburgh. Adam Pellerin of NESN reports. Justin Brazio?
Yeah.
Has an upper body injury. He is listed as week to week at this time. Will not play Thursday in Carolina. Adam Pellerin of NESN.com reports. I wasn't listed on the maroon one. But he is estimated to be back April 20th. And then I think we've talked about Derek Forbort before, but he is out the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
For the Buffalo Sabres, it's just Riley Stillman, which I don't remember me talking about at least. He is out for the rest of the season. For the Flames, we have Oliver Kylington. Estimated return date April 9th. Today. He's still on here, though. He had an arm injury, considered day-to-day. Joel Hanley, April 9th, estimated return date as well. He was listed as day-to-day. No further info on his injury. And Andrew Magnapane?
Mangiapane?
Sure.
I don't know. I'm not looking at it, but I'm just guessing.
Mangiapane sounds better than what I said. He's listed also as day-to-day. Estimated return date was today. For Chicago, we have Nick Foligno. Oh, Connor lost his bud. His dad is hurt. He is estimated to return on April 12th, listed as out. Connor Murphy, also estimated return on April 12th. He is on IR, though, with a groin injury. Won't be available Wednesday against St. Louis, per Ben Pope of the Chicago Sun-Times. Reese Johnson, also estimated to be back April 12th, just listed as out. And then Taylor Hall, who is out for the rest of the season. For Colorado, God, how did they beat the shit out of us with all these people hurt? They're Colorado, that's how. They have Mikko Rantanen, estimated return date April April 13th, he is listed as out. Marios Jedlica.
Jedlica.
Okay. I want to call him Jedi. That's all I want to call him.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
He is estimated to return April 18th. He is listed as out. And then they have Logan O'Connor, Oscar Olesen, and Pavel Francouz.
I did hear an update on Landeskog that he should be 100% by next season.
Well, and they have this estimated return date is May 10th.
I don't think it'd be smart to bring him back for the playoffs.
I don't think
intense
so
situation
either.
to put him
I
in.
think
real bad idea.
I think I think the possibility of him getting hurt, I could see them having him practice with the team and stuff.
Yeah, but him missing almost 2 seasons to bring him back, it's the playoffs. It's a real bad idea.
Right.
But I'm
Colorado
sure he's also itching to be back.
Oh yeah.
Right. No, Colorado doesn't, but I think
they don't need him.
He might be pushing himself to come back.
Which is typical Gabriel Landeskog.
Right. But I have to look up quick because he's only 31 though.
Yeah.
Still in hockey years,
he's in his prime.
87.
Hockey years are like dog years, I think.
It's so weird.
I think so.
Unless you're like a handful of players that play forever.
To the body.
Yeah, unless you're freaking
Yager,
Gordie Howe or Jaromir Yager.
Timo Solani, like guys, Chris Chelios that just played forever.
Oh yeah. For Columbus, we have Carson Meyer, who is estimated to return April 11th. The majority of these are actually April 11th. So until I say a different date, they are estimated to return April 11th. Carson is listed as day-to-day. Alexander Nylander is listed as out. Daniil Tarasov listed as out. Boone Jenner listed as out. Elvis Merzlikins listed as out. Jordan Dumas listed as out. He is estimated to return April 16th. Kent Johnson said Jockson. Fucking read. I just was making fun of those announcers for not being able to pronounce LaPierre. He is out for the season. Yeah. For the Dallas Stars, we have Yevgeny Dadnov. He has a lower body injury. He is estimated to return April 17th. He is on IR currently. And this says he is skating on his own, and Coach Pete DeBoer, I have no idea if that's how you say his name, but it's Dallas. I don't really fucking care. He is hopeful the 35-year-old winger could be a possibility for the playoffs. Brian Rhea of the Bally Sports Southwest reports. We have Yanni Hakanpää.
Yeah.
Yep.
The best name ever, Yanni Hakanpää.
You got it. He is also estimated back April 17th. Listed as out. He has a lower body injury. Might be available for the playoffs. Coach told Brian Rhea of the Bally Sports Southwest on Wednesday. And then we have Gerard, I assume that is, Rosberg. April 17th. Also, he's listed as IR. No details on his injury. Sorry. This one makes this player who we've talked about before just seem like an object and not a human being. For Detroit, we have Ville Husso, estimated return date April 15th, listed as out, but this says Husso, lower body, was loaned to AHL Grand Rapids on Monday for a conditioning assignment. He's not an object, guys. Kind of makes me miss the website we used last year, the CBC website, because that's the kind of
dude, CBC crushed it.
Yeah, I know.
I fucking loved it, man. They were shuttled to the syphilis butts. Anyway, and then Detroit also has Michael Rasmussen listed as out with an upper body injury, won't be in the lineup Tuesday against Washington. Edmonton Oilers, this is a huge one. Estimated to return, though, tomorrow. He is listed as day-to-day, but Connor McDavid, with a lower body injury, day-to-day, ahead of Wednesday's clash with the Coyotes. I think he could probably skip that game if he wanted to.
Yeah, I feel like they'd be okay.
Considering the Coyotes lost, 4 or 5-0 to Seattle.
Yeah, but Seattle's, better than Arizona.
Right, but they're both eliminated from the playoff picture. So, for Florida Panthers, we have Oliver Ekman-Larsson. He is estimated to return April 11th, listed as out. Aaron Ekblad, estimated to return April 20th, listed as out. He has an undisclosed injury, and though this says is likely to miss the rest of the regular season, David DeWerk of the Hockey News reports.
Yeah, there's only a few games left, so there's no reason. You just keep him out to the playoffs, it'll be fine.
Right. And then Carter
Verhaeghe.
Verhaeghe. I was close. Yeah. He is estimated to return April 16th, also listed as out. For the Los Angeles Kings, we have Alex Turcotte, estimated to return April 13th on IR. Carl Grundstrom, estimated to return April 11th on IR. He has a lower body injury, practiced in a non-contact jersey on Wednesday, assuming last week, unless they know the future, per Eric Stevens of The Athletic. And then Phoenix Copley, who I think we've talked about before. For my boys, very sad to report, Marcus Foligno. It's kind of funny, both the Foligno brothers are hurt right now. Foligno
that's Connor's uncle.
Season.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's Connor's
uncle. You both
uncle.
said something at the same.
Yeah.
Right, because Nick is dad.
Nick is dad.
Yeah.
Nick is dad, so Marcus is uncle. I'm pretty sure Marcus wants to punch him in the face, probably break his jaw.
Uncle Moose.
Sometimes uncle's got to send a message. No, kidding. Foligno underwent, this says abdomen. It was like a groin issue, core muscle surgery on Tuesday. Ooh. So he is now out the remainder of the season. He also had a groin issue last season, I think, and that's what put him out for the rest of last season. Sam Hentges is on here. I think he's technically on the main roster, but has not been on the main roster all season. I don't know why he's on this list. And then Jared Spurgeon, who we've talked about before, but it still makes me sad. From Montreal, we have Arbor. I'm not even going to try to say his last name.
Jacquage.
Not how I would think that was pronounced. Kaj, it makes sense, but Jacquage. Okay. He is on IR, estimated to return April 17th. Joshua Wall. He is listed as out, estimated to return April 16th. That's Patrick's son, right? Or is he not related?
Oh.
I think we determined they're not related.
I think I looked that up again.
Oh, they're not.
The guy
they're
behind
not
me a couple games ago, has not been to a Wild game in probably 15 years because he's like, "Where's Koivu?"
Actually,
because we were playing Colorado, and he's like, "Where's Patrick Waugh?" And I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?" And the guy with him was like, "Go have another drink, dude. You're drunk."
I want to correct the pronunciation. It is pronounced Arbor Jacquai.
That's
Jacquai.
Right.
Jacquai.
Before.
Jacquai. Yeah, it's Albanian.
I will probably not remember that.
All good. We got you.
Arbor, you have a
locked
good name.
in the brain.
Your name is one letter off from my first name. Put your guesses down below. What do you think my first name is?
Is it Steven?
It's not.
Gotta
Danger.
be.
I wish my given name was Danger. Actually, that would be fucking phenomenal.
Danger is my middle name.
It's Danger, because I'm very scary. Waugh is dealing with an upper body injury that will keep him out 4 to 6 weeks. He was injured March 21st, so he should be back. Chris Weidman, also estimated to return April 16th. He is on injured reserve. Kirby Doc and Casey Price also on injured reserve. I'm sure you guys have talked about them. I don't remember Kirby being on there last time I was on the show, but I might be wrong. New Jersey Devils, Jacques.
Yeah.
This is a devastating one for New Jersey. I mean, I know we talked about him, and they're probably not making the playoffs, but this is devastating for them.
Look at the injury. Look at the injury list.
Yeah.
They're not making the playoffs because of that.
No, they have too many people hurt. But this hurt. Even just for the rest of the season, even if it's 3 games.
Your best player.
I like watching Jack Hughes play. So, but Hughes has to have shoulder surgery on Wednesday, so tomorrow, and will miss the remainder of the 2023-2024 campaign. Capo Kakinen also out. Estimated return on April 11th. Curtis Lazar out till April 15th or thereabouts. Dougie Hamilton. He He has a pec injury and is in danger of missing the remainder of the regular season. General Manager Tom Fitzgerald telling reporters Tuesday, it's a long term with Dougie. He will play by the end of the season. Right now, we don't know, per Amanda Stein of the Devils official site. And then we've talked about Michael McLeod, Nathan Bastian, and Kalfa before.
Yeah.
For the Islanders, they have Scott Mayfield out for the rest of the season. Underwent season-ending lower body surgery. The team announced yesterday. That's a new one. But that's the only one that they have hurt. For the Rangers, we have Ben Harper out for the rest of the season. Philip Scheidel, Blake Wheeler. I'm sure you guys have talked about them. I know I've talked about them. For Ottawa, we have Dominic Kubalik. He is listed as out, estimated to return April 11th. Tim Stutzel, out, estimated to return April 11th. Travis Hamonic, out, estimated to return April 11th. My good friend, my BFF now, Angus Cruikshank, is out, estimated to return April 16th. Matthew Highmore on IR. I didn't mean to click my side button on my mouse. Please give me a moment. Matthew Highmore on IR, expected to return April 11th. And then they have Josh Norris. He underwent shoulder surgery, or is going to. I can't tell by the writing of this. TSN reported on Monday he's out for the season. And then Alex Formanton is out for the season, which I'm sure we've talked about. For the Flyers, we have Ryan Ellis out for the season. Well, yeah, next season will be over by July. Rasmus Ristolainen out on IR, expected to be back April 16th. And then Carter Hart. Pittsburgh Penguins, we have Ryan Graves. Wonder if he's related to Corey. He's listed as day-to-day, estimated to return April 11th. I thought I'd get a reaction from Chris on that one, and I didn't.
I'm sorry, I was reading.
I said Ryan Graves. I wonder if he's related to Corey.
Oh yeah, I mean, considering it's not his real name.
Jansen Harkins on IR with a hand injury. He is estimated to be back April 15th, but it says he will join AHL Wilkes-Barre Scranton for a conditioning assignment.
Baby Penguins.
Yeah.
The baby penguins.
Yeah.
The chicks. They're the chicks. Aren't baby penguins called chicks?
I don't know.
I feel like they're called the chicks. I don't know.
I don't think
Let us know what baby penguins are called.
If you know.
Seth Rohrbal, sure, of the Tribune Review Sports Reports. We have Noel Akari, estimated to be back April 17th on IR, and then Nat Nieto. But he's a neat guy.
He's a neat guy.
I know y'all have missed the dad jokes from the mom of the group.
Yeah, because I just read through.
Estimated to return April 17th. Can I point out, though, we haven't had one person on the SIP list thus far, and I'm a little heartbroken.
Yeah, I think everyone's toned it in recently.
It's playoff season.
Yeah, you don't want to be getting syphilis right now.
They're not partying.
And it is still pretty rampant, so.
It's rampant, but there is a cure. Can I point that out? For San Jose, we have Philip Zandina out until April 11th or so. Alexander Barbanoff out till April 11th or so. He had a lower body injury. He will be out of action, but listed as week to week. Ty Emberson on IR, estimated to be back April 18th. Lower body injury, not expected to play again this season after Coach David Quinn told reporters Monday, probably not where we're at. But you never know. Stranger things have happened. And then we have Logan Couture, Vitek Vananek, and Matt Benning all out for the season. For Seattle,
every week she butchers his name. Yeah. Fucking completely butchers Vanacek's name every week.
Didn't I say Vanacek?
No, you said Vananek. But it's funny now because you do it every time, and it's a funny running joke now.
Yeah.
That we're just
I know it's Vanacek. That's the worst part. I know it's Vanacek, and in my brain I say Vanacek.
You say it's right. It's funny. It works.
I'm sorry, VTech. I'm so sorry. I think it's because it's VTech Vanacek. It makes sense in my brain instead of Vanacek. Yeah, I didn't know I did that until now.
Every week. It's funny.
Legit my cry. Oh my god. I have a funny joke coming up.
Oh god.
For Seattle, we have Vince Dunn, who is out until April 11th. And Jared McCann, out until April 11th with a lower body injury. Won't play Tuesday against Arizona. Sound of Hockey reports. Jake from State Farm, and like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. It's out till April 12th. You're welcome. But
oh my god, so good.
Jake Neighbors, that is, if you couldn't put that 2 and 2 together.
That's so funny.
Y'all miss my ADHD, right? Justin Falk with an upper body injury. He is considered week to week. This says likely not to play again in the regular season. I hope that's true because I really don't want the Blues to make the playoffs. Right now, this says estimated to return April 17th. Oscar Sundqvist is out for the rest of the season. He had a torn ACL.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Ouch! I didn't know that. And that happened, against Vegas?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that.
I liked Sonny. He didn't do much for us, though, but he was also hurt for a lot of the time.
So he didn't really play.
Yeah, he was... I mean, I think he was hurt when we traded for him, hoping, we'd go further in the playoffs last season, but we haven't made it past the first round of playoffs in damn near 15, 20 years. I think we've done it once in the length of the franchise. But we, typically make the playoffs, which is the sad part. For Tampa Bay, we have Jonas Johansson. He's listed as out, estimated to return April 11th. Hayden Fleury, not related to Marc-Andre. He's listed as out, estimated to return April 11th. I feel like he's been on our list quite a bit this season for, this is his first or second year?
Yeah.
Mikhail Sergachev.
Yeah, he's been in the league for a while.
Has he? I don't feel like maybe it's just because we didn't have a podcast till last year, so maybe that's why I feel like he's brand new.
He's 27.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He's 260 career games.
Okay. Wow, good for him. Yeah, maybe it's just because we never talked about him till last season.
Yeah.
Fair.
Because we didn't exist. Mikhail Sergachev, not probably, for the rest of the season. I don't think Tampa Bay's in the playoffs, are they?
Yeah, they are. They just clinched their spot.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, because let me finish fucking reading this, and maybe I'll have an answer for you. As of April 8th, it says, with a leg injury, won't be available for the opening round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Chris Krenn of the Lightning's official site reports.
Yeah.
And Logan Brown is estimated to be out until April 17th. Both Logan and Mikhail are on it. For Toronto... Little baby burp. Sorry. Excuse me. I still never let that demon out, and I can still feel him, fucking here.
Just moving around, yeah.
Oh, and it just hurts. It's like I'm pregnant with it. Fuck. For Toronto, we have Joel Edmondson. Listed is out, estimated to return April 11th. Undisclosed injury will not be available against Pittsburgh or New Jersey on Monday and Tuesday, respectively. David Alter of Hockey News reports. Timothy Liljegren, upper body injury, not expected to return before the last 2 games of the regular season. Mark Masters of TSN reports he is listed as out, estimated to return April 16th, as is Kalle Jarnkrok. Right? I said his name right? We decided it's Kalle?
It's Kalle Jarnkrok. Okay.
He has a hand injury, not expected to play prior to the final 2 games of the season, per Mark Masters of TSN. And then Matt Murray had hip surgery. On March 22nd, faced shots before practice on Friday for the first time since undergoing bilateral hip surgery in October. Ooh.
That was a long time ago.
It was.
Wow. I realized he was gone that long.
I forgot that he was gone. I saw him march on the update. But, I mean, at least he's out there practicing.
Yeah.
For Vancouver, we have Elias Lindholm. He is listed as day-to-day, estimated to return April 10th. As of today, it says Lindholm, wrist, may still be an option for versus the Coyotes on Wednesday. Farhand Lajali of TSN reports. Thatcher Demko, still one of my favorite names in the NHL.
Yeah.
Demko's knee workload is increasing daily, and he could return to action as soon as Saturday versus Edmonton, which is amazing. Tucker Pullman, I know we've talked about before. For Las Vegas, we have Chandler Stevenson. I love the name Chandler. He is listed as day-to-day, estimated return April 10th. Aiden Hill, day-to-day, estimated return April 10th. William Carrier on IR, expected to return April 10th. Alex Petrangelo, I can't say it right now. He is listed as out, expected to return April 12th. I said it earlier today just fine. I don't think it was even with you guys. I think I was talking to Grandma about him. But,
just rattling it
Washington Capitals.
It's the pressure. It's the pressure.
It is the pressure. And like him being at the end of the list, like my tongue gets a little tired, guys.
Yeah, fair.
Phrasing. Boom!
Really
inappropriate.
I was going to make a really dirty joke, but I'm not going to. Probably would if Dave were here, but he's not. Because I'm all about flirting with my boyfriend. Washington Capitals, we have Rasmus Sandin listed as out. Upper body, won't play during Washington's upcoming 2-game road trip.
He won't play for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Ooh, owie.
He has a head injury.
Ooh.
Yeah,
owie.
He was checked into the boards by Parker Kelly.
That tracks.
And Kelly didn't get suspended or fined.
Correct.
Also, Ethan Bear on IR, estimated return.
He is in
April
the player assistance program, so that April 16th is really unknown. But yeah, Ethan Bear went into the player assistance program on March 27th.
I was going to say it was a couple weeks ago.
I think I saw that when you posted that in the show notes or whatever.
Yeah.
I just forgot that it was that name. And then back.
I'm surprised that ESPN didn't list it as that, and instead of just putting it as injured reserve.
Yeah, because normally they will say when it's the player assistance program.
Yeah, but he's in the player assistance program, so.
And then, like I said, Backstrom. I'm curious if I click on his name. Sorry, I'm being. Yeah. Yeah, it just says IRNR.
Mm-hmm.
At least under news, it says enters player assistance program.
Yeah.
So at least that's listed. Because I don't mind when they say, like, people, because I think that's a good thing to promote that these NHLers are seeking help for their issues. So I like seeing them being transparent about it. Of course, with the player's permission, but I respected the fact that so many have been open about, getting help for their addictions or mental health or whatever it might be. Another name that really hurts to say for Winnipeg, and the last one on the list, is Nino Niederreiter. He's listed as out.
Yeah.
The leg injury. This says estimated to return April 13th. But then in the notes it says, as of today, Niederreiter leg has no specific timeline for his return, but the earliest he could come back is Saturday against Colorado. Bud, my love, Winnipeg's doing great this year. I don't know that you need to come back against Colorado.
You could probably hang out till the end of the regular season and then come back.
Well, or even just hang out until
get healthy.
I don't know what their next game is, or if Colorado's their last game.
No, they've got a few more. Everyone's got a few more games.
Yeah, but maybe just sit out at Saturday against the Avs.
Yeah.
Especially with the Avs playing the way they do. Times. Yeah, that's the end of the list. A lot of names, but again, like that part of that is me missing 2 weeks and just wanting to make sure everybody was covered.
Well, we got them.
We want it. I mean, not that I don't trust you guys, but it's like my brain, if I don't say it out loud.
Yeah.
I did check in on it a couple of times.
You would probably hate my renditions of the reports because I just flew through them, didn't make any jokes, just done.
Yeah, that's boring.
Streamline.
I mean, maybe our fans would enjoy that more. I don't. I like my jokes.
We had way less laughs.
Yeah.
Right? Well,
And we had nothing to type in the status.
No, because we were both focused. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you guys didn't type much today.
I typed a couple.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see them.
Yeah, I typed a couple. D typed a couple.
How
yeah.
The NHL makes me feel fucking ancient the way they talk about men that are my age. Fucking get it together. Chris, who is our obscure player of the week and why?
Well,
yeah, tell us the why this time, Chris.
It is our
never
time.
Tell us the why.
Yeah. I always tell you why.
We're just being dicks.
So so the guy that was talking about Patrick Waugh and stuff the whole game, forget what league he played in, but apparently his nickname was Chainsaw, and he had the most goals, but also the most penalty minutes in the MICC or something. I don't know what league that is.
Oh.
I tried Googling it, and it
might be a high school thing.
I think it was a college thing, because one thing I saw was like a Boston area collegiate thing.
You
whatever.
both say it wrong. It's Boston.
Boston.
You gotta add the O.
Boston.
Boston.
Yeah. That sounds fun as the way I said it.
So anywho, it is time for our obscure NHL player of the week. I have to add it now.
You've been holding on to that button for how long now?
Yeah, you love that button.
You ask too many questions. What are you, a cop? So our player this week is Eric Fenton. Eric Fenton, born 1969 in Troy, New York. He was drafted 202nd overall in the 1988 NHL draft by the New York Rangers, which would explain to why he is the obscure player. You know what else is pretty obscure? He never played in the NHL. As a matter of fact, he had a lengthy career in both the IHL and ECHL, which is the NHL, or like the US's version of the Canadian Hockey League. It's junior hockey.
It's the baby AHL.
It's lower than that, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I guess ECHL is probably the next step down.
I think.
I'm not quite sure how the ladder system in the NHL works. I'm going to be honest.
Google it.
Let us know in the comments if you know.
Yeah,
but I feel like the ECHL is a step below the AHL. Or is it IHL isn't.
IHL is...
It's International Hockey League, right?
It doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, it was the International Hockey League. It ceased in 2001.
I just ranted about how the NHL makes me feel ancient, and then I talked about a league that doesn't exist.
A league that hasn't existed in almost 25 years.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. He played his 4 years of college with the University of Maine. Then where he transferred into the ECHL, he played 1 season in 1993 and 1994 in the AHL. This will explain why. In 25 games, he had...
Sorry.
We're just cutting that out immediately because I hate that
Yeah,
noise.
you're making the grudge noise.
Yeah, not even intentionally. Fuck.
No.
He had 2 goals, 5 assists in 25 games. He also had 104 penalty minutes, which explains why he didn't play there long. In his 115 starts in the ECHL, 40 goals, 52 assists, totaling for 92 points, 507 penalty minutes. But wait.
Damn. There's more.
In the IHL, 239 games in the formerly known International Hockey League, 35 goals, 46 assists for 81 points, 902 penalty minutes.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Good for you.
That's not even counting... That's not even counting his playoff numbers. He had 37 penalty minutes in the ECHL and 93 in the IHL in the playoffs. That's actually, hold on, that's pretty cool to know. In 1993, Fenton signed a professional contract with the Portland Pirates, becoming the first member of the fledgling American Hockey League team. So when the Pittsburgh Pirates, well, they're irrelevant every time.
Yeah.
When the Portland Pirates joined the AHL, he was the first signed player. That's pretty cool. He retired from pro hockey after his final season, which spent in the British Ice Hockey Super League, which used to be yeah, it used to be the mainstay until the obvious replacement that they have now. 46 games, 13 goals, 16 assists, and 89 penalty minutes.
Wow.
The most he ever had in one season was 1998. He had 331 penalty minutes.
Wow.
Wow.
So that is your obscure NHL player of the week.
900 and what, 2, you said?
902 in the IHL alone.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you know what's funny about the Manitoba Moose, though? That's the affiliate for the
Moose?
Or the Minnesota Moose. Yeah, they're now the Manitoba Moose.
No, I know.
And
well, but
they are
funny
the Winnipeg Jets team.
Right. They were the Minnesota Moose for 2 years, which is when they originated, I believe. They became the Manitoba Moose, and then they became the Ice Caps, and now they're back to the Manitoba
Now they're
Moose.
back to Manitoba Moose, yeah.
Like, that's why I remember the
Pick one.
So clearly is because of the Minnesota Moose, because they existed after the North Stars left. And I don't remember them only being here for 2 years, because like I had a jersey and all that shit. But and I love their logo. I'm also a nerd.
Cool.
To be fair, there are more moose in Canada than there are in Minnesota, and most of them are in northern Minnesota, which is essentially Canada as it is. But yeah, that's why I was like, oh, the IHL doesn't exist anymore.
No.
Because of something that happened in the mid-90s.
That shut down a long-ass time ago.
I know, but it seems like yesterday. Okay, my little sister was born in 1995. And now she's having her own baby.
Yeah, time's a bitch, isn't it?
It fucking sucks, man.
Agreed.
And on that note, tell us all how old you are in the comments. Make me feel ancient or average age. I don't know. Make fun of my age. I don't care. I'm a mom. I'm LTN mom.
Here's also Here's also a great question for us if you guys are still watching. Give us what is your favorite logo in the AHL? Like, out of all the teams, there are some really good AHL logos.
To answer Chris's question, let us know what your favorite AHL logo is. There's a lot. I haven't looked at the logos in a long ass time.
Yeah.
That's kind of a great question, Chris. I like it. And on that note, it's finally over. Thank you for hanging in there with us. And dealing with me while I'm back. Another question for you to answer, just for shits and giggles. What's your favorite color? We still want to know. Everything comes full circle.
Is that what it does?
Yeah.
Is that what it does?
Am I really blurry? Like,
you are blurry as fuck.
I don't know why all of a sudden there's a ghost in my room. Anywho, I don't fucking know why I'm blurry. Anywho, thank you again. There we go. Now I'm back. The ghost moved. Thanks for hanging in there with us. We appreciate you all of you motherfuckers. And we will see you next week in the Face Off Circle. Bye.